All right, YouTube, welcome back. Gonna be setting up my TK Racing triple monitor stands. Now, when I was looking for a budget option for a triple monitor stand, there was one company that came to mind, which is actually where I sourced my frame from, that I'm still in the process of putting together, and that's Rig Metal. And at a price point around 350 bucks, looked like a great deal. Unfortunately, he was out of stock at the time, and lo and behold, a couple weeks later, I was actually down at the MicroCenter, and I hadn't even known until I was there in person that MicroCenter had its own offering into sim racing as far as monitor stand, frame, etc. under the TK Tony Kanaan Racing product line. And this was 250 bucks. And upon doing a little bit of research, the reviews were very mixed. So there's a lot of people complaining about bending and sagging, that the design of the stand didn't really kind of hold up to weight of, even some 27-inch or 32-inch monitors. I believe a big reason behind that is a couple obvious design flaws in the construction of this thing. Little things here and there that I noticed off the bat. And if you compare the construction, the way this thing has you put this together in the instructions compared to the construction of, Rig Metal's design or a couple other offerings that are out there in the market, you'll see some key differences. And I'm about to get into them because we're going to fix it. For one, I've already kind of put together these uprights, and I'm going to be taking them back apart. And I'm going to be reoriented at 90 degrees here. Now, for those of you that maybe take an engineering class or have a background, and you understand the difference between an I-beam and an H-beam when it comes to resistance to bending. If I have more material further away from the axis of the bending moment, the more resistant that is to bending. Now, considering most of the force of this guy is going to be bending it forward with the weight of the monitors, having it mounted this way is not a good idea. Now, I had already kind of took these brackets off, and I look a little ahead of myself, but these pieces here, the arms that are going to go out to each side, had 90-degree brackets on the inside here to connect it to this flat piece. Kind of like that. Now, I have no idea what made somebody decide that. I mean, anytime you add an extra contact between, or an extra joint or joining surface, I mean, you're opening up for more slack and more bending and slop, etc. So in my version, you'll go ahead and take these off because we'll just be affixing them directly to the channels on the T-rail with T-nuts and bolts, like so. So let me get the basic shape of this put together. Another reason I was going this route, as I kind of discovered how far apart these two stands are when you put this bar in between them. And it really limited space here, as I'm trying to have the monitors up against the corner in here in the room. So the plan of attack is going to be, after rotating these 90 degrees, to bring them in narrower together and use those right angle brackets to bolt to the side. That way, giving it a narrow profile with the stand, and then putting those arms on the outside. All right, both are done. Now, I'm gonna take those 90-degree right angle brackets that we scavenged that used to be attached here, and we're gonna go ahead and put them on this bar, like so. So if you see, the idea is to grab that on the sides. All right, first post attach. Now do you see where I'm going with this? Gonna throw the second one on, and then this thing will be steady, and then from there, make your adjustments and move this inward and get it to the right width that you want. All right, now I have both sides attached. Now, one thing I wanted to point out that I should have before, when making the adjustment and spacing, it is way easier to just leave two attached to slide it in, then add the other two on the outside later. But I'm gonna go ahead, rotate this guy around, measure with a measuring tape, and then make adjustments from there. All right, now I got most of it 90% done. So as you can see, these pieces connect now on the side of this bar. One thing I will mention is totally a pain to level that. So one thing I did was measure kind of the width of this rig and make sure it's gonna fit inside. So I gave it 24.5-ish inches between the two posts, but really I just measured 11 inches from here to there to set these brackets, and then the same thing on this side. So now I'm gonna need to put the monitor mount on there, get one monitor set up in the middle, and kind of adjust to see where I want that to line up with my eyesight, eye line, whatever the hell you want to call it. And then I need to mount my seat on this guy, put it up in there, and double check that that height is correct. So that's gonna be the next step. It'll probably be tomorrow when I do that. A few modifications I gotta do. I'm actually using the seat out of a older Subaru WRX instead of buying a bucket seat. A, way more comfortable. B, I'm retaining the seat rail sliders, the little mechanism that tilts the bottom cushion up and down, and all that stuff. So it'll be plenty of adjustability, way more comfortable than a bucket seat, and I got the damn thing for free. So, and boom, got most of this set up right now. So taking measurements, and I'm gonna shift the central monitor, this whole arm, up a little bit. And one thing I'm gonna do too is add 90 degrees here and underneath to put even more rigidity, keep it from sagging. So you're gonna need to break these little tabs off of one side for that next step. I found honestly a really easy way to do it is to go ahead and put it in a vise and turn. It's gonna be hard to hold the camera, and boom, get it right off. Alternatively, hold it stationary, I guess using a hammer and a screwdriver, trying to get in there and twist to snap it off works as well. All right, so I went ahead and broke the tabs off of one side on 4 of these 90-degree brackets. So, I mean, if you've been following along so far with the TK kit and they gave you what they should have given you, you should have 8 of these total left over right now. Well, fuck. But yeah, 4 of them switched over like this. One thing I'm gonna grab too while I'm in the garage, 2 clamps. It's gonna help us really get that bar nice and squared up against the uprights, that crossbar that holds the monitors. So that way, while we're tightening down these right angle brackets, we have a nice snug right angle, no twisting. All right, so this is what I was talking about here with those clamps. Went ahead and did that really tight to make sure that that bar is square up against there. That way, any little bit of twist means a lot of sag on those arms out on the side. So went ahead and ran, shoot a little tape measure on the inside, set it to the dimensions that I liked when I kind of mocked it up the first time. So, all right, so this is what your junction should kind of look like. 2 brackets either side, 1 out front, 1 out bottom. Now I know that this limits the movement of the arms in and out, but the way I mocked up with 32-inch monitors and the included mounts, there was no issue. I mean, I really have plenty of room here. And there's a couple other tricks you can do with those arms as well to get the monitors closer in, but that should be rock solid. Set up to go right here to do the same thing on the other side. All right, both sides are done now. Arms are back on. My height is correct with how I want to line up with the seat and the wheel. So next up is going to be setting the distance on the arms as well as the angle. All right, that was kind of a huge pain in the ass, I'm not even gonna lie. So got all that mounted up. It's pretty rigid. I mean, it's not sagging. It's kind of hard to see on the GoPro with the wide angle lens kind of distorting stuff, you know, that fisheye effect. Let's take a peek back here, see what it looks like. Well, the lighting kind of sucks in here right now, so. Yeah, I am super happy with the result. Room's looking a whole lot nicer now, and I'd say I'm pretty much all set up. Got the bezel-free kit installed. Had to 3D print the extenders to be able to hold it on. And unfortunately, the shape of these monitors really makes it suck. So I'm probably just going to design and 3D print my own mounts for that anyways. So far, I will say it was a total pain in the ass to get everything dialed in and level with the monitor stands, but I mean, the value for 250 bucks, man, especially if you do it the way that I lay out in this video, you know, I think it works pretty well. I mean, take a look at this guy, and it's not really sagging, like, at all. It's not sagging anywhere near like the one that I actually saw in person inside MicroCenter. So this is a great way, you know, to fit it into a tight space, get it up against the corner there. But yeah, I mean, shit, like I said, $250 for that triple monitor mount. I mean, I don't think anybody else really comes close. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna go edit all this up now, and thanks for watching.